Hello and welcome to another episode of Sarah's Stitch. So, thank you for being here. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Sarah. I am a knitter. I live here in Hoboken, New Jersey, which is right across the river from Manhattan in the United States. I just got back from my summer in London, and this is my podcast where I can share all of my knitting, finished objects, works in progress, acquisitions, all of that good stuff with all of you. Thank you so much for being here, and if you like what you see, so please like and subscribe. I also post on Instagram somewhat regularly, where my name is sarahs.stitch. And to get everything out of the way right up front, anything I talked about today will be linked down below with either the Ravelry project page or the actual pattern project through Ravelry if I have not yet cast it on, as well as any dyers, local yarn shops, designers, things like that I talk about. If I missed anything, please comment down below and let me know, but hoping I can get everything today. So it is Sunday today, September 15th. It is very warm here right now. It's, it's 80 degrees according to my watch, which is about 26 Celsius. So it's toasty. The windows are open because I'm not an AC person, never have been, never will be. So if you hear straight noise, I'm very sorry about that in advance, but hopefully it's still a little quiet because it's only noon. But let's get started with straight into whips because I have no finished objects. And if you saw my last episode podcast or my fall knitting plans, I know I mentioned that I was going to finish a sock. However, I did not finish that sock because I can't find that sock. My current pile of chaos, which is right behind you that you can't see, is stacked with all of the half-finished socks I dug up out of all of the places, and I thought the sock that I was going to finish was in there, but it's not. So the sock is this mate to this one, which I showed in my last podcast. That I knit on vacation, which is a homespun house yarn. It's floating around here somewhere. It'll turn up. Just maybe not when I thought it was going to. So that is unfortunately not a finished object. The other item that is nearly close to a finished object, I just need to make a few finishing touches on, is my mom's sweater. So this is the Stonecrop Pullover by Andrea Mowry. I am knitting this for my mom for Rhinebeck this year out of Spin Cycle dyed in the wool in the color Opia and the Fiber Company Cumbria Fingering in the color White Heather. The Fiber Company I bought from a yarn store in Bath when I was living in London, and the Spin Cycle we bought from Loop, also in London when I was living in London. So this is a London sweater, kind of. And this is where I'm at. So let me stand up and show you. So we have a full body. The ribbing is still just on holders because I didn't know how long I wanted to make it. Both sleeves, this is the finished sleeve that was finished last episode. And I just have one more repeat to do, on this sleeve before I do the ribbing. And for anyone that watched the last episode or my fall knitting plans, I did tear out the ribbing on the neck. I'm going to just do it per pattern, and maybe put some elastic at the top so it cinches it in a bit. So I have maybe 20 or 30 more rounds on the sleeve, the neck, and this was just on ribbing just so I ran out of the white yarn that was caked up, so I figured I would just do this and come back to this eventually. So I think I'm going to only do, I don't know, 3 or 4 more rounds on the ribbing before I do the tubular bind off. And for those interested, this is what the floats look like. I talked about this quite a bit in the last 2 videos I've put out, so I don't think I need to really expand on it anymore. If you have any questions that I didn't cover in the last 2 episodes, please do let me know, but I think I've pretty much said everything there is to say about this. I will say I'm knitting a size 4 on the recommended needle sizes, so it is a bit oversized for both myself and my mom. I don't know if you can tell, but there is quite a bit of positive ease, but I think she'd prefer positive ease to negative ease. So I'm happy with this. I think it will be long enough on her when I block it out, because spin cycle does tend to grow, and the fiber company I think is going to grow a little bit just because it is a wool and mohair blend. All right, next. So this is the Hanstholm Sweater by Petite Knit, which I am making for my dad. He is getting a size medium, which is typically the size, like I've made him loads of sweaters before. I've only made him 1 sweater before, but I make him about a 109 to 110 centimeter bust size in patterns. So he's getting a size medium in this. I am knitting this out of Sorella Classic DK in the color Am I Laughing or Crying, which was a Gilmore Girls collection colorway. The last run, I would think it was a color in the original Gilmore Girls, but that was before I got into hand-dyed yarn, so I'm not positive, but it was in the last collection I ordered it. It's, I believe, based off Suki. It's this really gorgeous cranberry red I'm making for my dad. Last time you saw this, I kind of explained that I started this like late Feb. I think I started this on February 29th, and then I didn't touch it while I was in London because it did not make the list of projects I'm bringing with me to London. So when I got back from London, it was at this first yellow stitch marker, and the second yellow stitch marker is where it was when I filmed last time. So I have made about, I don't know, what's that, 4 inches or so of progress since the last episode, which I'm happy with. As I mentioned in my fall knitting plans, I kind of want to have this done by the end of the month if I can, which doesn't feel unrealistic, but it doesn't feel entirely realistic right now, but I think it's doable. I think I have about 5 more inches on this before I do the hem and then just sleeves. So I need to actually be working on this at night and not be distracted by like happy hours and things like that. I am knitting this helically with 2 skeins of yarn for the body, but for the sleeves I don't think I'm going to helically knit just because it's quite a consistent colorway to begin with. Hoping you can kind of see the slight variegations. I don't think it'll be that much of an issue on the sleeves, and I don't really want to deal with that tight of that small of a circumference and 2 balls of yarn. It just, if I can avoid it, I'd like to. So, all right, moving on to the next work in progress. I have my pair of socks that I'm currently working on the most right now, which is my Hermione's Everyday Socks. These are being knit in, just making sure I didn't lose any stitches. These are getting knit out of Homespun House Patreon sock set from May 2024. I have added a few extra colors in, / have plans to add an extra color or 2, but this is the colorway Sprout, and I don't know what the cuff color is, honestly, but the cuff has, I don't know if it'll show up, but there is a good bit of stellina in there. Hopefully you can see it. And then this is how far I am on the actual sock. And I put in a yellow contrasting heel in with an Aya Partridge heel, which, woohoo, here we go. There are a couple rows that got messed up. I'm not too bothered about that, oopsies. But I'm thinking of doing purple, which I showed in my last podcast for acquisitions for the toe, just to pull in all the colors that are in the actual main color of the sock. And then I'm gonna do the second one. And yeah, this is my first time ever actually making the Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern. It's very easy to follow. It's pretty potato chippy. I don't know if I think I like the crunkled sock more for like a textured knit, but it's doing the job. And I did, I think, 15 rounds for the cuff and 40 or so rounds for the leg. Similar to all my other socks that I knit, I'm doing 80 stitches for the foot before I do the toe, and I'm knitting these on 9-inch circular 2.00 millimeter needles. I think that's it. Oh, my foot size is a US 9, UK 7, European 39-40-ish, for anyone that needs to know that for the length of the sock. All right, and then I have 2 more works in progress, and then I have a couple acquisitions. So this next work in progress I'm going to go through quickly because it's crochet. I don't know how many people are interested in crochet, and it's been here for forever. But this is my granny stripe blanket, which I've been making for quite literally years, using my Patreon Home Sweat House mini skeins that I get. So when I started this, I think it was March 21 was the first set of mini skeins I got. So it's very large. I don't know if I can show you. It's this wide. About. So this is where it's at. So I started at this edge, obviously, and then I have made my way down to here, and I think this green stripe that's showing kind of towards the top is where I was when I left. Nope, not that green stripe. This green stripe that's right at the top is where I was at when I left for my secondment to the UK. And so I've put in, I'm flipping it upside down, or the other way around, just so everyone can see. So I've done, so it's this green stripe that's right towards the bottom of the screen right now. So I have done a decent amount of work on this. I've just been doing granny stitches the whole way through. My gauge has changed significantly throughout it, but I have this cake left to finish up, which I think has about 6 more colors in it. And then I have like 5 more sets of mini skeins, and then that will be done. I need to figure out what border I'm putting on it, but that's a later me problem. I am crocheting that on a 3mm crochet hook, and it's just fingering held single. I don't know how I decided that. I think I just found a crochet hook that I had laying around and went for it. So, and everything is connected with a magic knot in there. Excuse me. So that is my granny square blanket update for everyone. You probably won't see it again until at least this ball is finished. I've been trying to do like 1 row on it a day at least, just so it keeps moving, and I'd like to work on my jelly roll blanket, so gotta keep moving that one forward. But my final work in progress is my Framed by Andrea Mowry, which is for me for Rhinebeck this year. So if you watched either of the last 2 videos, you will know that I am making my mom, my dad, and myself all sweaters for Rhinebeck, hopefully. Dad's sweater is still up in the air. But making for Rhinebeck all of us sweaters. My mom's is the Stonecrop, my dad's will be the Hanstholm, and mine will be the Framed. I am knitting my Framed out of Spin Cycle Dream State in the color Caluna. And then my colors A and B are West Wool Tandem. Color A is Corduroy, and color B is Wellington, which I will show you right now because I have a finished body. I have a full-blown, finished body of a sweater. So The neck is this beautiful corduroy color, which is a really nice cranberry red. It is a bit more purple cool toned than my dad's sweater. I don't know if it'll come out on camera, but it is definitely cooler toned. This is also still a little damp because I blocked the body before I wanted to start the sleeves, just so I could see how big it was and all of that. So this is it. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. I'm very happy with the color combo and very appreciative of the people at Stephen and Penelope for helping me for sure lock down this color combo. So what I wanted, I know I've said this before, but I wanted it to be a good mix of light and dark without it leaning too far into the spring category, which it definitely, I think, would have with these kind of colors as the spin cycle. But with the green, I think it really dulls it down, and it can be kind of a 2 to 3 season sweater. And yeah, I'm knitting this on the recommended needle sizes. I didn't gauge swatch because I'm a bad person. And it's blocked beautifully. It was quite puckery in the square sections. So people who are making this would know, but these sections right here have these squares. My tension was not great on them, and blocking really made a world of difference. So I'm very happy with this. I can't wait to wear it. Yeah, so once this is dry, I will be picking it back up to do the sleeves. And the other reason I blocked this now was so that I had to focus on my dad's sweater because this is wet, so I can't knit on it. So that is that. And I don't think I'm missing anything. Oh, I'm making a size 3 in this pattern, which I'm very happy with. I think the circumference is what I wanted it to be. It is a little bit bigger than gauge just because I am a bit of a looser knitter than Andrea, but that is fine with me. And I'm knitting it on the recommended needle size. I think I said that already. The tandem is, I think, recommends a needle size between 3.5 and 4.5 millimeter needles, which is what the pattern calls for. So worked out perfect. And yeah, I can't wait to get back to this and knit my sleeves. So that is that. And then I think the only other thing I have left to show is acquisitions, which I will show you in just 1 second. All right, I only have 2 actual acquisitions today, which I feel very proud of personally. So the first is my Wilberry Collective skein from, I think, August. And it is Fresh Breeze. I got it in the DK Cozy Sock base. Or Cozy, yeah, Berry Cozy DK sock set. So it's this really pretty tealy blue. It's not super speckled. It's just kind of like a light variegated grays, a light aqua teal, and then a gorgeous like seafoamy green mini. Cannot wait to knit this up. And then the second acquisition I have is my Patreon mini skeins and sock set from Molly from Homespun House. So the minis are, oh, they're so pretty. This is July. Yeah, July. And we have these 3, which are Spark, Ditzy, and Comfy Sofa. So Spark is this yellow. This is the same yellow that I used on the heel of my socks I'm currently working on. Comfy Sofa is the speckle. And then Ditzy is this really fun turquoise. So Molly has new labels too, which are so pretty. And then the sock set is called Meet Cute. And this is what it looks like. It's a really fun purple pinky sock set with a light neon coral mini to go along with it. And I think this would be great to knit while watching Emily in Paris, personally. But maybe that's just me. All right, I think that is it. I'm sorry / you're welcome for a bit of a quicker episode today, but I have been working on the same projects from last time, and I just wanted to give a quick update so I could keep in the podcasting momentum. I guess that's the best way to describe it. And hopefully next time I have some finished objects, some actual finished objects, not a this should be finished or slap me otherwise finished object of the missing stock. But my mom's sweater should be finished. And yes, I will speak to you next week. I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you so much for sticking around with me and listening to me yap for the 20-25 minutes that this is going to wind up being. And I will see you next time. Bye.